BattleGround Rajasthan. The building behind me is the Vidhan Sabha, and honestly, that is what the big fight is all about, isn't it? Well, at the time of recording, it's the last day of campaigning in Rajasthan. The people are going to vote in 2 days. More or less, I think minds have been made up, issues have been decided and fought. But what is the mood on the ground? What are the voters thinking? I'm going to be talking to a group of experts, to journalists who've been on the ground following the election, journalists based in Rajasthan. And after that, we're going to be doing a ground report by talking to the voters, the people who are actually going to press that ballot button. So join me on this very exciting battle for Rajasthan. तो हम यहाँ हैं जयपुर में, बिल्कुल जैसे कि कहते हैं राजस्थान चुनाव का अब क्लाइमैक्स पे आ गया है. कैंपेनिंग खत्म हो गई है. जिनको वोट करना है, आई थिंक वोटर्स हैव मोर और लेस डिसाइडेड कहाँ जाना है. रिजल्ट्स तो 3 दिसंबर को आएंगे, लेकिन मूड ऑन द ग्राउंड वी कैन गेट अ बिट. एंड टू जॉइनिंग मी ऑन द शो आर पीपल हु नो व्हाट हैज बीन हैपनिंग. दे हैव बीन फॉलोइंग द इलेक्शन. Joining me on the show is Anil Sharma. He is a senior journalist and a columnist, and also Avinash Kalla. He is the founder of Talk Journalism and also a senior journalist and columnist. Anil ji, we've been following this. We've been having so many conversations. Do you think now you can see where the चुनाव is going? कुछ आप prediction कर सकते हैं कौन जीतने वाला है? क्या राजस्थान राज बदलेगा या रिवाज बदलेगा?
बड़ा डिफिकल्ट है प्रिया जी. आपको बताऊं तो आज तक मतलब आपने अभी देखा होगा, अपन असेंबली के पास हैं और असेंबली बिल्कुल इजी हो चुकी है. ऐसा ही मैं मानता हूँ राजस्थान में जो चुनाव है, आपके वोटर्स काफी साइलेंट है. वो क्या बोलना चाहता है, क्या नहीं बोलना चाहता, खुल के नहीं बोल रहा वो, मेरे को ऐसा लगता है. और इसलिए हमें देखना और जांचना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. एक चीज मैं कल से बोल रहा हूँ जो मैं मानता हूँ उसमें कुछ सच्चाई है. राजस्थान के चुनाव को स्टेट असेंबली इलेक्शन की तरह से मत देखिए. यहाँ हर कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी एक स्टेट असेंबली इलेक्शन है. तो 199 कैंडिडेट खड़े हैं. आपको जो चुनाव हो रहा है उसमें आपको देखना पड़ेगा किस कैंडिडेट की ज्यादा स्ट्रेंथ है, किस कैंडिडेट के ज्यादा फॉलोअर्स हैं. उस पे आपके लगता है मुझे किस कम्युनिटी का है, किस कास्ट का है, उसको जोड़ के आप देखेंगे तो आपको समझ में आएगा राजस्थान का चुनाव आपके किस तरफ जा रहा है. वरना मैं बताऊं आपको, वोटर्स साइलेंट है. मजाक में बोल देगा कांग्रेस, मजाक में बोल देगा बीजेपी. जब आप पूछने जाएंगे किसे, कोई क्लियर नहीं बोलता है. एक ग्रुप मिलेगा वो बोलेगा नहीं बहुत गहलोत साहब ने बहुत अच्छा काम करा है, हम तो गहलोत को वोट देंगे. दूसरा उसको 5 मिनट बाद आप किसी और को जाएंगे तो वो बोलेगा कि हम तो बीजेपी को देंगे. इट्स अनक्लियर, बिल्कुल अनक्लियर है. आपको बताऊं मैं,
Unclear like the fog. हम सुबह कर रहे हैं, बिल्कुल असेंबली के सामने हेज है, जैसे कि अनिल जी ने कहा. अविनाश, योर फर्स्ट रिएक्शन ऑन द चुनाव?
No, I agree to what Anil ji is saying, that this time it's a very close election. If you observe other elections, by this time we could easily say this party is coming in. It's a matter of number or the margin of victory. But this time you can't say that. It's a close call, but I'll still go, if you say you put your neck out, I would say that looking at the history of the way Rajasthan has voted, BJP has a slight edge. But that is the charm and beauty of elections, that on 3rd we could come in with a surprise.
The surprise could go either way, but if you see who are the main people candidates, what are the people voting for in terms of faces? Are they voting for Vasundhara? Are they voting for Ashok Gehlot? Are they voting for the Prime Minister? Are they voting for Rahul Gandhi?
just look at the opinion polls. You'll find one thing very common in all the opinion polls is Ashok Gehlot's popularity. He is the tallest leaders in Rajasthan as of today. Vasundhara is not there because she's not canvassing or campaigning on a regular basis, if you look at it. So my take is, without Vasundhara, BJP seems to be in trouble. And Ashok Gehlot with his policies, he's kind of a poster boy, Everywhere you'll find him, on every poster you'll find him. Plus his policies, the earlier policies, 10 policies which he has been able to deliver on the ground. Plus 7 guarantees he has given. I think he's the guy who has got certain age. But Congress also suffers from anti-incumbency with some of the MLAs and some of the ministers. So that is a problem with Mr. Gehlot, with his image, because yesterday only he said, you have to vote on my face, not on any MLA's face. Yesterday he gave a bite, So it speaks quite a lot. There is anti-incumbency, which he understands, which we know, but can Ashok Gehlot with his policies and with his face beat that anti-incumbency? That is a challenge for him.
Gehlot has not been good at beating anti-incumbency earlier, but now what has changed? Has he now finally understood the pulse of the people? The last minute, the 7 guarantees, the welfare scheme, इनकी जो बीमा योजना है, Avinash, I must say, I found a lot of people talking about the increase in the health insurance from 25 to 50 lakhs.
I'll answer it one by one. You were asked a couple of questions. What has changed this time? I would say that Ashok Gehlot is a politician who always understands the pulse of the people. What he has smartly done this time is his campaign. He has built the entire campaign and narrative around him. There is no Congress, there is only Mr. Gehlot. And credit to him and his team that they have set the narrative. It's the BJP, interestingly, who's responding this time. They are not the tone setter. So that is what is different. So that is the reason why wherever you go, you hear a lot about the Chief Minister. But will that translate into vote remains to be seen. Now coming to the scheme that you said, Chiranjeevi, this election, Priya, is going to be a test of the welfare scheme model. Ashok Gehlot has rolled out every possible welfare to everyone. But by and large, what we've been sensing is that the entire thing is focusing on the Labharti. There is a public at large as well, which is completely ignored. And there is only one scheme that has helped people across economic society, caste, creed, or whatever parameter you say, that is Chiranjeevi Yojana. That is number one scheme of the government. But is it sufficient enough to bring people to vote for Congress party remains to be seen. Whereas Anilji said about the BJP, yes, BJP was a very divided house. But they knew somewhere in the back of their mind that Rajasthan is a pendulum state. Every 5 years it changes. So for them, it is an opportunity to establish that the Prime Minister can deliver a state other than Gujarat. So that is why they are going. Anilji made a point about Vasundhara Raje, but 2 days back, all the speculations for Ms. Raje were put to rest when there was a Kodak moment, as I call it. Going to my younger days, there was a Kodak moment. That was the term. So millennials might not know it. The picture perfect moment where it was only the Prime Minister and Vasundhara Raje there on the stage, no other leader. Vasundhara praised Modi and they both spoke or addressed a crowd from the same podium. That had never happened in the past. So with that, there is a lot of enthusiasm. And Anilji said that Vasundhara is not the face. Completely agreed. She's not the face, but she's the only one who has done 40 public rallies. Other than the Prime Minister or Amit Shah, I think she has the highest number of rallies and addresses that she has done. So the message has been subtly sent out that she is very much there because there is no other leader who has canvassed that much.
This is what Avinash spoke about Vasundhara. I found the same about Shivraj Singh Chauhan also. First they tried to ignore him. In the end, they had to go back because the mood on the ground was not so anti-Shivraj, at least what I found in Bhopal and Madhya Pradesh when I travelled, as the BJP in the centre thought. Is the same belated recognition about Vasundhara also, that they cannot do without her.
That's right. You forgot one guy from Karnataka, Yedurappa. At the last minute, he was brought, and PM was holding his hand and doing his road shows. At quite a later stage, they realized that we need Yedurappa badly. Same thing has happened here. What Avinashi said, I just want to clear it up. These 40 places where Vasundhara is gone are all her supporters or loyalists. She has not gone beyond that, She is focused on the MLAs, not the sitting MLAs, the candidates where the tickets have been given to her supporters or her loyalists. Only she has gone there. She has not gone to any other place, if you look at it. So you have to read it to understand what is happening in Vasundhara. Vasundhara was not on posters in the last 4.5 years. Suddenly, Vasundhara came on posters. Otherwise, she was not there. She has got one of the biggest loyalists, whom I called Hanuman of Vasundhara ji. He's fighting election as an independent. He was denied a ticket. So when you look at it, I think Vasundhara ji still is. She can be, because if BJP wins, if BJP wins, I think she's the only candidate who can be a CM face, because she's a pan-state leader. A, B, she has got a mass appeal. In BJP, no one can match her stature in Rajasthan. You look at the roadshow of PM, day before yesterday, in Jaipur. It was not as good as was expected, frankly. It was not as good as was expected. But that is why he curtailed it. In 4 kilometers, it was, he left it and went back to Delhi. So I think if Vasundhara would have been there, the public would have been much more. That's my take. Because Vasundhara in Rajasthan is a face which people recognize, which people think, and she's a moderate. First of all, even the minority community supports her if she is the face. Now the problem is minorities are completely not. If you ask any of the minority, go to visit any of the minority areas, you will find that these guys talking about Congress only. They will not talk about any other party. So that is the case.
This is very interesting. What he said. Vasundhara, the PM did not have her in the rally. She is a moderate face. She is the face that unites. So the Vasundhara appeal, do you see that, in terms of the Scindia factor, how is that?
See, I'll say something very interestingly. Anilji pointed it out that she was not on the posters. But when it comes to election and when it's a routine poster thing, there was a leader of opposition who was Gulab Chand Kataria. And then you had a party president. So this time also, wherever official party posters and things are there, which is an official thing, the segment is always like that. Governor is a thing. Then you have a leader of opposition and the party president. She did not occupy any of those posts. And the same thing was there in the Congress. You would always see Ashok Gehlot and Govind Dotasra. So that poster thing has been blown out of the proportion. So far, she would always have her poster because she had her person at the PCC or the BJP chief. So, poster I don't think is an issue. Here, they have made sure that after second list, her people has been given a space. And I think she's pretty okay with that. And even if she campaigns at 40 places, she makes sure that 40 MLAs are coming into the BJP. So I don't see BJP now having many fractions. I've spoken to a few people in her camp. They say all with Vasundhara Raje. And the day she and Prime Minister were there, another one of her loyalists joined or came back in support of the BJP candidate. So I think BJP, yes, is a divided house. There are 8 to 10 aspirants, but they all know that they can be the chief minister only if the party comes to power. So they will all back their respective 2 candidates, 5 candidates, 10 candidates, come in and see. And whereas you were talking about the Congress, one more thing, Priya, uniquely about this election is that Congress would never go in with a face and BJP would never go faceless. This time that has reversed. So that's why you're seeing a lot of this whole face thing and non-face thing.
I agree. I've been also saying that this time the BJP is fighting the election like the Congress, and the Congress is taking a leaf out of the old BJP, the Vajpayee BJP.
No, only in terms of campaign, because push will come to shove today evening onwards. Do you have enough number or karyakartas to drag your voter out of the house and take them to the polling booth? That is where the whole election now ties up. Because Congress, let me tell you, for 3 years out of the 5 years that has gone, did not even have its Jilla presidents. The district presidents were also not appointed. They were appointed just 3.5 months back. So it's not a well-oiled unit on the ground, whereas there might be 200 differences within the BJP, but all their rank and file and the Panna Pramukhs are on place, ready to go. And now, they've matched the manifesto scheme by scheme, price by price, only minus the OPS. And now, to make up for the OPS, they have the Hindutva. So they are pushing Hindutva all guns blazing.
Very good points. In fact, when I was in Madhya Pradesh also, I would say the same thing. Instinctively, I would say that Congress is ahead, but it all boils down to the last day, the push, the organizations, which the BJP has on ground. The RSS is working, people, and the biggest Panna Pramukh of them all, Amit Shah, is in Jaipur today as we speak, holding a press conference.
The Prime Minister is going to be in Bhim. So he's a top-notch above Mr. Shah. So till the last day, even in Bhim, which is in Udaipur area, he is still going on.
And in Udaipur, we know what he talks, Kanhaiya Lal. But I must tell our viewers, at the time of recording this, it's the last day of campaigning. The votes, the campaigning finishes today and the votes will be cast in 2 days' time. So as Avinash says, the push begins now, the behind the scenes. Isme the Congress we talked about division in the BJP. Anil, what about the Congress? We are still maybe not so public, but there is that Pilot versus Gehlot feud.
There is. If you ask Pilot, he'll never tell you what CM. He says the party high command will decide after the elections who becomes CM. If Congress wins, if there's a big if in this, but my take is basically on this, that what Avinash said is, I fully agree to it. Who takes the voters out? That is a big thing. Because Congress has got a habit, they become lazy. The Congress workers become lazy if they think they are winning, and they don't go to the booths. Booth management is must. It's must. And Avinash was talking about one thing more, and it was, the 8 or 9 aspirants for CM. Look at them. Except for Vasundhara Raje, any of these aspirants have been able to leave their constituency, which in itself tells you that their position is not good in their constituencies. If their position is not good, then how can you say that BJP has got an upper hand?
always say there is something going on with the top brass of the BJP and the Congress, because in all the elections, Ashok ji gets a persona non grata in front of him and Vasundhara ji gets a persona non grata in front of him. That gives them the leeway to just travel around. And that's as simple as that. Take out any election. There was a lot of speculation of a Gajendra Singh or any big shot or a Ravindra Singh, a new face, somebody who could challenge Ashok Gehlot. Nothing happened. And the same happened with the Congress. They fielded somebody who's persona non grata. So I think, the whole argument that others are not going in, but I still say I will buy what Anilji said. It's an election of 199 seats. If I get my person in, if I come in, then I'll count how it goes out. So it is a very fragmented election. It is not an election. And one thing I'll say, all our friends from Delhi who come, they have the first question to ask locals, aap bataiye kitne aa rahe hain? We are the country's largest state. Our voters and our caste don't behave similarly in the entire region. So I always quote the Jat community. They say the Jat vote is important. But there is no one Jat leader. The Jat of Marwar would be different from Jat of Nagaur. The Jat of Nagaur will be different from Jat of Shekhawati, and the Jat of Shekhawati is completely different than the Jat of Bharatpur. Now, this is how my state moves, so there can't be one simple answer.
No simple answers in Rajasthan. But, to get back, I still want to go a little deeper on the pilot before we close, on the pilot and Ashok Gehlot issue. Because I interviewed pilot yesterday and I asked him, he was driving the car. So I said, you're very fond of being in the driver's seat, but how do you then? So he laughed and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And he said, look, the decision will be taken by the High Command once the election is over. And we will all abide by it. But abhi to lagta hai ki the decision has already been taken. Gehlot's face is the one that is
He is the poster boy. On whose policies are you fighting the election? Congress is fighting the election on face of Ashok Gehlot. Plus his policies, what he has done in the last 8 months, 6 months, they're fighting election on them. And Ashok Gehlot has been able to deliver what he promised. You talked about Chiranjeevi, really is the main issue. Avinash said something about a manifesto of BJP. Do they have 25 lakh provision in there? No. In insurance, health insurance, they are missing on it. They are missing on OPS, old pension scheme, which is a big issue for government employees who have...
The Prime Minister said any scheme that is going on will not stop it. So, see, I'll again tell you, again on the Chiranjeevi, Vasundhara ji had a thing called Bhamasha. So if you look at the way health scheme has developed, Ashok ji came with 2 rupee medicine, Vasundhara ji tweaked it to Bhamasha. He comes and tweaks it to Chiranjeevi. So this goes on. I think people know that any scheme which is good for people would not be stopped. It would be remixed.
Okay.
So like an Annapurna will become an Indira Gandhi Rasoi. Equally popular scheme. So I think the rejig is going to be there. But the push comes to shove, who has got the manpower to bring the voter out.
Last 2 days. But sorry, you were saying.
I was saying, when we talk about manifestos, do they have Chiranjeevi Swasthya Yojana? No, they don't. Do they have old pension scheme? No, they don't. These are the 2 main issues. OPS is, the people who joined after 2004, Congress government has promised to give them OPS. And what Ashok Gehlot has gone ahead with, he'll make an act. So that if in case Congress does not come to power, even in that case, no government can refuse old pension scheme to employees. That has become a big issue among the government employees, which are roughly about 7.5 to 8 lakhs. If you even multiply it by 3, you get a figure of 24 lakhs. And you please remember, the last election, 2018 election, by how many votes Congress won? It was roughly 1.5 lakhs. Total votes in Rajasthan. So 24 lakhs in that scenario makes a lot of difference. Then another thing which is coming up, if you go farther down from here to Shekhawati region, you will find Agniveer, a big issue. In Jaipur, if you talk about 2 students, they'll say about, paper leak. But you go farther from here towards Sikar, Jhunjhunu, you'll find Agniveer to be a big issue. So you have to keep things in mind. But I'll still say this is an election which is silent. People are not talking about much. And you have to look at the election at 199 elections, not one election.
And again, one more silent factor is there. While that we all are very vocal about OPS, that caters to, let's say, close to 7 lakh employees and turn around to be 21 or 24 lakh voters. But there is a huge middle class that is working, that all our hard-earned money is going out to the Labharthis. What do we get?
That is
neither in our discussion nor in government policy, a normal voter or a person who is demanding basic amenities and a fair and smooth system is completely being ignored. So that is also a silent vote because nobody reaches out to them.
But does this voter go out and vote?
Yeah, it does. It does. And see, all said and done, there is another 24 lakh or 22 lakh young voters who have been added. Now, who catches them first? In a margin that Anilji rightly pointed it out, that it's just 1.56, the margin of votes. So add another 22 lakh, which are new voters here. So where do they go? Women again, anybody?
One thing more which I wanted to say is, you have, you're talking about Avinashi and you're talking about beneficiaries. I'll say it is a fight between the beneficiaries of Modi and beneficiaries of Ashok Gehlot. Now, who wins? That has to be seen. It is a fight between the two.
Correct.
I think if we take even Mr. Gehlot or Modi or anyone out, it's an idea that do the people of Rajasthan endorse a welfare model where everything is delivered free of cost to them. If that goes, then it becomes a litmus test. And if Mr. Gehlot comes out as a winner, he's the biggest leader around in the opposition fold to take on the Prime Minister. So a lot is riding on this election.
A lot is riding on this election. My last final question for both of you is, if lawless you are saying is too close to call. Yes. So now I'm going to ask you is, let's call the election. Let's just say if the Congress wins, who will be the CM face? If the BJP wins, who will be the CM?
No doubt, because you're fighting on policies, you're fighting on his face. Obviously, Ashok Gehlot from Congress should be, I don't know, but should be the CM's face. It depends on party.
BJP?
And in BJP, my take is 80% goes towards Vasundhara Raje.
Okay. Who do you think the party will make? That's
in the Congress? Yeah. Gehlot.
And BJP?
Hoi jo Modi rachi rakha. You never know. But you seriously never know. It's only the Prime Minister who knows. And then they come out with a slip, as yesterday Anilji pointed out in one of the discussions, that the slip would come. But I believe whosoever the Prime Minister feels at that point in time is good for his 24 prospects would be the Chief Minister.
The 24 prospect is what the Prime Minister will be looking at. But if he did not want to make Vasundhara, then फिर अगर Vasundhara को बनाना ही था तो पंगा क्यों लिया? पहले ही कर देते. He alienated Shivraj, he alienated Vasundhara. It's not that he didn't have the foresight to see that they have implement and impact on the ground. So I would also say that even if they win, Vasundhara may not. But I think Ashok Gehlot will probably do his best to become But I have a feeling in the Congress, while Gehlot will become, Pilot will be given an assured guarantee of maybe 2 years later or 2.5, but we know how that works.
Well, we have seen that guarantee. That is one guarantee that the Congress could not fulfill. They're going in for 7 guarantees this time around. So a Chief Minister guarantee can be taken. Well, whatever the Chief Minister says, that might go well with the people. But whatever the High Command says doesn't go well with even Congresses. Leave the people aside.
So easier to predict the BJP than the Congress. I will still not say that if the Gehlot will finally be given the chance, because Pilot is going to protest. He's been protesting for a while. How long will that protest hold? Will the Congress give in? Well, that is something we're going to watch and see. Wait for result day and wait for more discussions like this. From Jaipur, that is all. This is Priya Sahgal with video journalist Chetu. So some very interesting takeaways. Regardless of the fate of the parties, they're also talking about the fate of individuals. Whether Vasundhara or Ashok Gehlot wins, what will happen to the other? Because both have also reached a certain stage in their political career. Will they survive another 5 years in the wilderness? And what about Sachin Pilot? For how long can the Congress afford to ignore him? While Gehlot may be the president, the future certainly belongs to the younger generation, and Pilot does stand out amongst them. Those are key questions we're going to be looking at. But now we're going to take a short break. And after the break, I'm going to go and try and talk to people on the ground. Let's find out where the voters will share, or at least give us a hint as to which way Rajasthan is going to be voting. Welcome back to BattleGround Rajasthan. Let's try and find out more on the vote on the ground. बताइए जी, चुनाव आने वाले, चर्चा भी खत्म हो गई. कैसा लगता है माहौल, किधर जा रहा है वोट?
अभी तो कोई हमारे को कुछ विचार नहीं है. अभी हमारा
विचार नहीं है, पर वोट तो बस 2 दिन ही बाकी है.
हाँ, तो 2 दिन बाकी हैं वो, लेकिन हम सोच समझ के देंगे किसको देना है.
किसको दिया था?
पहले जनता पार्टी को दिया था उसको.
जनता पार्टी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी. अच्छा, अब किसको देंगे?
अब देखो, विचार है तो कांग्रेस का अशोक जी गहलोत को ही देंगे.
अशोक गहलोत,
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा है.
बहुत अच्छा किया.
मैडम मैं दीपक शर्मा हूँ, गौतम शर्मा भी हूँ, मैं मैनेजर भी हूँ. मैं वोट नंबर 8 पे दूंगा. मैं अमित शाह जी को वोट देना चाहता हूँ.
अमित शाह जी को? अच्छा, मोदी जी नहीं, अमित शाह. अमिता जी. अमिता जी कौन? आम आदमी पार्टी। आम आदमी पार्टी। ओ वेरी गुड। तो चुनाव में क्या लगता है आपको?
चुनाव में तो सही लग रहा है कि अपने जिस हिसाब से वोट देना चाहते हैं वो दे सकते हैं। कौन सी पार्टी आएगी?
कौन सी पार्टी? बीजेपी, कांग्रेस, क्या अच्छी लगती है आपको?
बीजेपी अच्छी।
बीजेपी अच्छी लगती है। बीजेपी में कौन अच्छा लगता है?
मोदी जी को देंगे हम।
वसुंधरा जी, वो तो औरत है।
वो मोदी जी को देंगे हम तो।
मोदी जी को देंगे। वसुंधरा जी को नहीं। कांग्रेस जी, गहलोत जी? नो।
गहलोत जी को।
गहलोत सरदार।
अच्छा अच्छा, और बताइए आप। हम चुनाव के बारे में थोड़ा पता करना चाहते थे, क्या माहौल है, कहाँ पे वोट, कौन किसके मुद्दे पसंद आए?
हमें बीजेपी के मुद्दे पसंद आए।
बीजेपी के।
हाँ जी।
हम तो तुष्टीकरण से बड़े परेशान हैं। यहाँ जो तुष्टीकरण किया जा रहा है ना, उससे बहुत परेशान है। हम तो है तो कांग्रेस ही, लेकिन इस बार बीजेपी को ही वोट देंगे हम।
अच्छा, बिकॉज आपको लगता है कि ये कांग्रेस ज्यादा
तुष्टीकरण से परेशान है हम। महंगाई तो चलो एक मुद्दा है ही, लेकिन जो तुष्टीकरण है, हम बंटवारे से तो परेशान होके आए हैं 1947 में। अब यहाँ भी तुष्टीकरण चलेगा तो हम कहाँ जाएंगे?
तुष्टीकरण शुरू किसने किया आपकी राय में, कांग्रेस ने या बीजेपी ने?
कांग्रेस ने। हमारे आलमगंज जी आ रहे हैं।
अब सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है कि हिंदुत्व को लाना, बीजेपी को जिताना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि
हिंदुत्व को लाना।
हाँ, हिंदुत्व को लाना, सनातन को जिंदा रखने के लिए।
ये कन्हैया लाल के बाद में ही हुआ है, और हमारे यहाँ एक आदमी को 50 लाख रुपए 1 घंटे के अंदर दे दिए गए। सबसे बड़ा तुष्टीकरण ये हुआ हमारे साथ। तुष्टीकरण ना होता तो हम होते
दिया जाए तो ये बातें नहीं होती, लेकिन अगर आप किसी एक कौम को ही आप आगे बढ़ाते हो तो वो गलत हो जाता है। हम जनप्रतिनिधि हैं तो पूरे एरिया के लिए हैं, सबके लिए हैं, सबके साथ समान रूप से समान व्यवहार होना चाहिए, जो अब इस सरकार में नहीं है। बीजेपी ऐसा करती नहीं है, बीजेपी सबके साथ समान व्यवहार करती है, तो बीजेपी को ही आना चाहिए, सनातन को जिंदा रखना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल आएगी, पक्का है बीजेपी।
यहाँ पे हालांकि बीजेपी का ज्यादा, आप बताएंगे? कांग्रेस के। अच्छा, मुद्दे कौन से अच्छे लग रहे हैं? बीमा योजना नहीं बताएंगे तो आधा वोटर यहाँ का ये भी है जो कप्तान खोलता नहीं है कार्ड। पर ये जो अशोक गहलोत ने ये जो बीमा योजना शुरू करी है, आपके सुना उसके बारे में? चिरंजीवी जो योजना शुरू करे हैं, चिरंजीवी।
गहलोत जी भी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, बढ़िया काम कर रहे हैं।
और वोट किसको दोगे?
वोट
किसको दोगे?
जो अच्छा काम करेंगे हमारे लिए उसको ही देंगे हम।
चलिए, जो अच्छा काम करेंगे उन्हीं को देंगे।
जो अच्छा काम करेगा।
चलिए, हम आगे और बात करते हैं, थोड़ा माहौल और पता करते हैं। यहाँ पे और भी लोग आ रहे हैं। आप थोड़ा हमसे बात करेंगे चुनाव के बारे में? हाँ, नहीं। आप लोग कहाँ से आ रहे हैं?
मंदिर में जाते हैं।
मंदिर में जा रहे हैं। कहाँ से रहे हैं?
किनारा था जब बंदी हो गया मंदिर, तो वो बंद हो गया।
अच्छा, बंद हो गए। मंदिर बंद हो गया? मंदिर कब बंद होता है? अच्छा, ये जो चुनाव चल रहा है उसके बारे में आपका को जाके वोट करती हैं आप वोट जाके देती हैं?
हाँ, वोट तो जमाईचा
जाते हैं।
वोट देवा जमाचा, हाथ में फूल में काय में दे देते। सब नहीं कर रही,
वोट देते हैं।
देते तो है, कोई काय से बता तो कौन है?
काहे कौन करे, गरीब आदमी की तो काहे
हाँ।
नहीं करे।
तो वोटिंग के टाइम तो आते हैं सुनने के लिए। कोई आया है, मिला है आपसे चुनाव के टाइम?
कोई नहीं मिला,
कोई नहीं आया, मिला
कोई नहीं है।
फिर किसको वोट देंगे आप?
तो मंजूरी दायर लगा, मंजूरी को लगाया, काय काम को लगा मान।
किसको देंगे आप चुनाव में? किसका लगता है आप ठीक काम कर रहे हैं? हाँ?
दे देंगे जिसको भी देंगे।
मन बना लिया है? बताएंगे नहीं। चलिए, दिस इज आई थिंक द women voter is always the more difficult to ascertain for one reason. The vote here, this is of course a shopping complex. The traders vote is usually with the BJP. They are more pro BJP. The mood here of course seems to be. आप सब थोड़ी बात कर सकते हैं चुनाव के बारे में? Now we have a young future voter. तो आप बताइए, आपको अच्छा सबसे कौन लगता है?
मोदी।
क्यों मोदी अच्छा लगता है?
मेरे को मोदी इसलिए अच्छे लगते हैं कि अच्छे के लिए अच्छे और बुरे के लिए बुरे।
वाह, क्या डायलॉग मारा आपने तो। आप तो फिल्म लिखने वाले हैं। तो बड़े हो क्या मोदी बनेंगे?
हाँ।
कौन बनना चाहते हैं? मोदी, सचिन पायलट, अशोक गहलोत?
मोदी।
Modi. Well, Mr. Modi, here is a young voter. You got to vote for the future, also for the BJP here in the heart of Jaipur city. We're here trying to see the mood on the ground and see where the vote is going to be going. तो अब चुनाव तो प्रचार खत्म हो गया, अब तो वोट डालने का समय आ गया है, तो अब बताइए कौन सा बटन दबेगा?
आपको मालूम है कौन सा बटन दबाने वाले हैं?
मोदी जी का।
मोदी जी।
तो बीजेपी का बटन दबेगा मोदी जी के लिए?
मोदी जी के लिए।
आप मैडम वसुंधरा राजे या
मोदी जी को देंगे।
मोदी जी? पर वसुंधरा तो
मोदी जी।
एक ही बात है, मोदी जी को लाना है।
मोदी जी को लाना है।
मोदी जी को जरूर लाना पड़ेगा।
ओनली मोदी।
नहीं, इन्होंने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात कही, एक ही बात है, पर एक ही बात नहीं है ना,
वैसे तो मोदी जी को जाएगा।
क्योंकि अगर मोदी जी जीत जाए तो आपको लगता है वसुंधरा को बनाएंगे?
हमें ये मतलब नहीं है क्यों किसको बनाते हैं।
मोदी जी किसी को भी
हम तो
कनेक्ट
मोदी
करके
जी
वोट
जानते
दे
हैं।
किसी को मनाओ, लाना मोदी जी को।
पर मोदी जी खुद तो चुनाव नहीं लड़ रहे हैं। आप बताइए।
मोदी जी को नया चेहरा लेके आएंगे अब की बार।
और आपको दिया कुमारी या शेखावत? आइए मैडम।
मोदी जी को ही देंगे हम तो।
मोदी जी को देंगे?
हाँ, मोदी जी को ही देंगे हम तो, फूल वाले को।
फूल वाला? कौन सा फूल? पर मोदी जी तो खुद आ नहीं सकते यहाँ पे,
हाँ,
तो किसी और।
है ना,
मैं आ गई मोदी जी की।
मोदी जी की जगह आप आ गए हमारे पास।
मैडम
तो मोदी जी को बोला मुझे बना दे मुख्यमंत्री।
मोदी जी विधानसभा से राज्यसभा में मेंबर थे, राज्यसभा से फिर उनकी ताकत बढ़ती है। बात यहाँ की विधानसभा की नहीं है, बात राज्यसभा की है। राज्यसभा में मेंबरशिप ज्यादा बढ़ती है तो अब मोदी जी कुछ कर सकते हैं, नहीं मोदी जी कुछ नहीं कर सकते।
ये बस सही पकड़ा है, जितना स्टेट्स आर इन पावर दैट विल हेल्प इफ यू वांट्स टू मेक अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल चेंज, ही नीड्स द पावर ऑफ द स्टेट्स। पर मोदी जी तो खुद नहीं बनेंगे सीएम।
मोदी जी खुद में अपना नाम में अलग अमान है।
मोदी जी खुद में अपना नाम है।
अच्छा, गहलोत जी में क्या बुराई है?
कुछ भी गहलोत जी में चाहे कुछ बुराई नहीं हो है या नहीं है, उससे मतलब नहीं है।
तो किसी में भी नहीं है, हम थोड़े। हाँ, काम तो दोनों ने किया।
ऑन ग्राउंड गहलोत खुद होंगे, मोदी जी खुद नहीं होंगे, अपना प्रतिनिधि भेजेंगे।
प्रतिनिधि भी हो तो उससे कोई मतलब नहीं, लेकिन वोट फॉर मोदी जी।
वोट फॉर मोदी।
वोट फॉर मोदी जी, वोट फॉर मोदी जी।
चलिए, यहाँ पे भी कमेंट टू बीजेपी गढ़ वे द वोट इज फॉर प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी, नॉट सो मच फॉर। आप बात करेंगे हमसे?
केवल मोदी को वोट देंगे हम।
मोदी को वोट देंगे, पर मोदी खुद तो बनेंगे नहीं, तो फिर आप भरोसा है कि अच्छा आदमी लाएंगे?
मेन चीज पार्टी का है, मोदी पार्टी का है।
पार्टी का है। कांग्रेस में क्या दुखी है आपको?
जो मोदी कर सकता है ना वो
कोई नहीं कर सकता। अच्छा, थोड़ा चटपटे वाले पास जाते हैं, थोड़ा वहाँ पे मसाला मिलेगा हमें, थोड़ा चाट भी खाएंगे या चाट वालों से बात करेंगे। मसाला तो आप ही के पास होता है जी।
भैया से बात।
भैया कहाँ है? भैया बात की थी आपसे हमने मोदी जी के, सॉरी, चुनाव के बारे में बताइए। हु डू थिंक इज?
मोदी जी साहब। हाँ बस
मोदी जी।
नॉट गहलोत। कांग्रेस चलो पसंद?
नॉट, कोई कांग्रेस नहीं।
पसंद है बीजेपी, कट्टर बीजेपी हम तो
हमेशा से रहे हैं, वाजपेयी के टाइम से भी।
जब से खिलाया है कमल ही खिलाया, कीचड़ में खिलाया चाहे कहीं भी खिलाया, कमल ही खिलाया।
क्या आपको तो फिर बीजेपी में होना चाहिए?
बीजेपी है।
हाँ, बीजेपी है। See that the main issue really here is polarization, which was very interesting. I found a lot of people saying the appeasement politics of the Congress, the Kanhaiya Lal murder is something that has not gone down well, and the Congress action, even though Gehlot says we've taken action, somehow people are not happy with what they've done. A Congress voter says I'm going to be voting for BJP on those grounds. So, well, somewhat the heart of the BJP bastion, we got somewhat of the mood of the people. I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you for watching this cover story, and let's see where Rajasthan goes for voting.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.